Okay, so today I want to talk a little bit about the Kickstarter dashboard, and specifically, we're going to get into rewards. So when it comes to the shipping, when it comes to the price of your rewards, I want to cover that today. So all I've done basically is I've set up a test project here on Kickstarter to show you that. It's very important that you also review the rules. Projects have to create something that can be shared with others. This means that you need to create a product of some kind or have rewards that are tangible or that are in some way someone can claim, right? Projects also have to be honest and clearly presented. You can't raise money for charity, meaning you can't raise $10,000 and then donate that to charity. You got to have a product or projects of some kind. And also projects can't offer equity. If you're interested in offering equity, you can check out my book, Equity Crowdfunding Explained, which is available on Audible and Amazon. And also you can check out some of my videos on YouTube when it comes to doing an equity crowdfunding project. And finally, there are prohibited items that you should look into, specifically if you have a product that is a little bit in the gray area, right? So you can look at more of the rules. So you can say, got it, once you do that. Let's go into the rewards section here so we can look a little bit about the functionality of the Kickstarter dashboard, right? So on the very top here, you're going to notice a few different things. You're going to notice the basics. This is like your name, your title, etc. there when it comes to the product. Funding amounts, story. This is where the campaign page section is, what people see physically, the graphics and the text of the campaign. You have the people involved, payment, how that goes into your bank account, and finally some promotional things which go beyond the scope of today's video, keeping this really snappy for you. Okay, so adding rewards, right? These are basically the things that you're going to offer to people when they support your project. According to Kickstarter, most creators offer 3 to 10 reward tiers. I find once you get beyond around 7, it gets a little bit more complicated, right? So you want to keep it simple. You want to keep it straightforward. You don't want people to be confused. If you have a notepad in front of you, you should write down that confused people never buy. Right, so one could be a pre-order, which is how a lot of Kickstarter products are done, a pre-order of a product. Another thing, if it's more of a creative project, could be like behind-the-scenes peek and writing videos, etc. So what we do here is we say create new reward. Now you're going to title the reward, and this title is also an opportunity for you to do copywriting, right? So we could say something like, you could say early bird or super early bird, and we'll just say this is for a journal. You might want to think a little bit more about what this could be, but remember, people are going to see this first, this title here. So this is a really great way for you to kind of sell your product a little bit if you have an interesting package idea or an interesting title. So I'm just going to do this, keep this really boilerplate. I'm literally coming up with this on the spot. Next is going to be the amount that this is. So if you pledge $1 or more, you can claim this reward. So we're going to have this just be $35. For the Super Early Bird Journal. I'm a writer. I don't know if you know that. I love writing. I've written in journals my entire life, lots of my thoughts and like observations about myself. And I've also written 10 books available on Amazon, a lot of business books, also some more on like digital marketing kind of stuff. So I've done a lot of writing in my life. And then you're going to describe the reward. So this could be an opportunity for you to emphasize the value here. So you could, for example, get 30% off retail price. That could be an easy one. And then you can get a little bit more into the actual description. So you might want to describe the reward / what people get. The other thing would be maybe who it's for. And this can be really short and snappy. It doesn't have to be this long paragraph of text. It could literally just be 2 paragraphs. And you could say, for more information, check out the campaign page here. And then finally, you're going to have your months. When is this going to be delivered? So typically when it comes to delivery schedule, I'd say 2 to 3 months is pretty standard. If you end up delivering in a month, I'd say you're ahead of schedule than most campaign creators. If you're doing 6 months, you probably have more of a electronic gadget or a gizmo of some kind, though it could also just be that you hit delays or for whatever reason you needed more work when it comes to the manufacturer. If you get to a year or more, obviously that's a very intensive project. I have been on campaigns where it has been a very long duration. Obviously backers get a little bit antsy, so you have to make sure that you communicate with them the different stages that are happening. So it really comes down to your product. We're just going to say, I'm recording this in January. So we're going to say that this is March of 2021. Now, the other thing here are the items, right? So items are kind of what are involved in this reward, right? So what do you get at this tier of the super early bird? And we'll just say this is like a wizard's journal. I don't know why that came to mind, but maybe because I'm a nerd, right? Wizard's journal. This, coming back here to the items, we might want to add, first of all, the journal, right? So we'll just say a leather journal, and you might want to have some other specs there. And we'll create that, and then be quantity of 1. So you can see here, this changed. Includes on the right, leather journal. Going to add another item. We're going to say we're going to include a fountain pen. Brand it maybe, fountain pen. And we'll just say that this also, for some reason, includes 1 month supply. We'll just say it like an ink cartridge. I'm totally gonna misspell this, cartridge. I know I'm a writer, but I suck at spelling. So we're just gonna say one of these. And you could also change the quantity if you wanted to. So maybe if this is a super early bird, 2x super early bird, you might want to list this as being 2, right? So that's going to show up here. This is basically just the nuts and bolts of what you're going to get. You're going to get it delivered in March. This YouTube video is sponsored by The Gadget Flow. The Gadget Flow reaches over 28 million people, and they've been around since 2012. They're Indiegogo and Kickstarter experts. They featured over 5,000 crowdfunding campaigns. If you have a tech or design campaign, it is a great platform to generate awareness and get backers. Check them out at thegadgetflow.com/submit and list your project today. Shipping. This is important. So this is important because this is ultimately going to determine basically your costs, right, when it comes to shipping. And I have another great video out there comparing, should you collect shipping on Kickstarter itself, the way that I'm doing it here, or should you collect shipping after the fact, and in that way not have Kickstarter take 5% of your shipping cost, right? So we'll just say that this is only certain countries. Will have the USA be $10 shipping, and if we want to have another destination, let's just say we're going to do, if we can, I was going to say, like, we'll just do Switzerland or something like that, just for example's sake. So you could also add, if you want to, all destinations, or you could say anywhere in the world, right? And then just have that be a US versus the anywhere in the world price. So I'm going to actually change this just so you can see that. So this would be like US, Switzerland, and then the rest of the world we'll just say is a $20 price, right? So you can handle all of your shipping. If you are having issues figuring out shipping, number one, go and download the free guide for Kickstarter fulfillment and shipping that I put together with Fulfill Rights, and that's in the description of this video. Go and download that free guide. Really great resource for you there. Also, you can always look into Fulfill Right more, who's a sponsor of this YouTube video. And if you have any extra questions in terms of figuring out pricing, costs, all that kind of stuff, you can also book a one-on-one coaching call with me, and we can talk a little bit about that. I wouldn't say I'm an expert when it comes to fulfillment. I do have a grasp of it, I think, more than the average person. More of my expertise is on marketing and also on understanding how Kickstarter works and such. Okay. Another would be quantity, right? So right now it's unlimited quantity. Let's just say we want to create a little bit of scarcity. So we assume, let's just say that we're going to have super early birds. We're going to have 50 super early birds available. So a really quick thing would be 50 times 35, and that would tell us how much this actual reward tier is going to sell out for. So I'm going to just do that really quickly. 35 times 50, that would bring us about $1,750 in revenue if this one's sold out, and it's all going to depend on the pre-launch. If you're not doing a pre-launch, you got to watch some of my videos on doing a pre-launch, or pick up a copy of the book, The Kickstarter Launch Formula. The pre-launch is really instrumental towards having a successful campaign. And finally, the time limit, right? So let's just say we didn't want to do a quantity. You could technically do both, right? If you wanted to, you could have this be an unlimited quantity, and we'll just say that this starts on January. Actually, I'm going to pick up this. This is a little bit better. This starts on the 13th, and this is before the campaign end date. So I'm doing this on the fly here. Yeah, I gotta change up the date of the campaign start date. We'll just say start on launch date, and you can specify essentially the end date if you want to of when these rewards would be. And when you do that, it's going to have a countdown timer here underneath the reward. It's going to show there are only, let's just say, 7 days left to claim this reward. So I didn't want to go in and I just want to keep this short for you. I didn't want to go in and change all this, but that's basically all you'd have to do. You'd have to save this reward, and then you got a new reward here, right? In your reward section, as you can see. And you can also browse here. You can see the items that are listed essentially for all of the different rewards. You can also have add-ons. Add-ons would be like, let's just say if someone wants an extra ink cartridge, we could have that be an add-on. Now, this is a part of the beta program that Kickstarter is now running. So this might already be standard practice by the time you watch this video, right? But you can offer an add-on if you want to, and you might have to apply to that program possibly. So just to really quickly wrap this up, let's just preview this and see what it looks like here. So here on the right, you can see this is kind of what the reward looks like, and would probably want to customize this a little bit more, but basically in bare bones, that is kind of how it looks. The shipping there, you got the date, and finally, if we want to really check this out, we could enable preview, and this is like the upper left hand corner, enable preview, copy this link. We can open what's called an incognito window. Sounds kind of mysterious there, right? Incognito. And you can see what this would look like as a campaign preview. And as a visitor, that's kind of what it would look like, right? So when you're live, people will be able to support at this particular reward tier. Now, that's pretty much most of what I want to cover in this video. One really very important thing. If I had a loudspeaker, I'd be standing on a crate box and I'd be shouting this from the rooftops, right? This is a very important thing, so listen up. Well, first of all, like and subscribe this video, right? Well, I got your attention. But second of all, when it comes to these, if someone supports, let's just say the super early bird here, and you're live on Kickstarter, you can't edit that reward. So once someone has supported a reward, you can't edit any of the information in the tier. However, if no one has, you can edit it. And in addition, you can always, while you're live, release new reward tiers to the public. So this is something that's almost strategic in a way, where you could technically come out with a new reward in the middle of the campaign if you want to. Right? So this is something to think about. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, book a one-on-one coaching call with me at crowdcrux.com/coaching. We can talk about your project. We can talk about a lot of stuff, ways I can help maybe at the end of the call. But ideally, I want that to be a useful call for you in general, and sort of tailor a lot of my advice to your specific product and category and some of the stuff I don't share on YouTube, right? Another thing would be you can check out my weekly crowdfunding tips newsletter, which is at a link below in the description. And I got a ton of other great courses and educational programs for you when it comes to launching one of these campaigns. I really appreciate your attention. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a comment if you did like this video, and I'm be sure to do more of the Kickstarter dashboard if you did find this to be helpful. So let me know with that thumbs up. Thanks. This is Sal. I'll see you next time.